All right, enough Champions League. How about some Conference League instead? Wow, I never thought I would say something that yucky and horrible. May God forgive me. But Chelsea have beaten Real Betis 4-1 to win the Europa Conference League. Jules, I just want to get this out of the way first. Chelsea have now won every single UEFA competition, at least once, as well as the Club World Cup. Is this a thing?
I think it is. I think it's great. And of course, there's the argument that some clubs like Real Madrid will never play in the Conference League because they will never finish that low in that league. So I get it. But still, you can only beat what's in front of you, whatever competition. You can only win competition that you are qualified for. And sometimes it can happen that you have a bad season domestically, so you qualify for not the Champions League every year. So I think it's great if you're a Chelsea fan. I'm not sure I would go as far as getting the trophies tattoo on my shoulders like Jose Mourinho did. But hey, I think it's still great.
Jose Mourinho answers to a higher power. Robbo, I think this is a classic cliche game of two halves. Mm-hmm. In the first half, Chelsea were terrible. He made changes in personnel at halftime to address this. Was it the personnel or was it the setup? Or was it just Isco is unplayable for an hour or so?
I think he misjudged the way that Real Betis were going to play, because I've seen Real Betis play many, many times in La Liga against the top sides, which are Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they've defended very deeply. They've played with not much energy, and they've been pretty poor. And I think he felt as though they could play out from the back at will and they could get it into the top third of the field, and that wasn't the case. And I never understand when you play a right back in central midfield. Now, if you're a right back and you step into central midfield when the space is there, that's understandable. But when you actually stand in central midfield and play there for the whole of the first half, you might as well play a central midfield player there, because he couldn't get back out into a right back position because Chalobah had to do that. And that's why he made the change at half time. And I would say he also made a change in the way that Reece James played it. Because he did go into midfield, but he also went back out to right back at the right times and defended out there. So that was a good change that he made. He got it wrong to start with.
Jules, was it also weird to you that the two guys who were put up in front of the media pre-game were Reece James, the club captain, and Levi Colwill? I don't know if he's vice captain. If not, if he isn't, he should be. And then those two guys don't start?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, for Colwill especially, he was very good against Forest, scored that goal that sent Chelsea to the Champions League. And then I guess I thought maybe Badiashile, who'd played all those Conference League games against terrible teams that you'd never heard of before, maybe he thought, okay, he deserves to play the final as well, a bit like Jorgensen in goal, I guess, something like that. But I thought that was strange. I thought not starting Reece James, your club captain, when he's fit, and clearly he's a better player than Malo Gusto, was strange as well. So I'm glad at least the Reece James issue was corrected at halftime. But yeah, overall, I thought it was too predictable from Chelsea in that first half. You know exactly what they want to do, it was a slow build-up towards Caicedo or Gusto, and it just never worked. As soon as they put a bit more intensity in after the hour mark, then obviously they got better. And as soon as the ball got to Cole Palmer quicker, they got better as well.
Yeah. I mean, look, in the end, from a neutral's perspective, we got to enjoy Isco in the first half. And Cole Palmer, who I thought had done very little until that point, the difference maker in the second half with that pass for Enzo Fernandez, where he just completely threads it in there. But also the Nico Jackson goal. The ball comes off of Nico Jackson. I don't know how much you knew about it. And that was all down to Cole Palmer.
Yeah, and what he did, Maresca, as well, he played Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez slightly wider in the second half. So the two central midfield players, or one being Reece James and the other one being Caicedo, they narrowed Real Betis down, and the next pass they could get from the centre halves was sort of 30 yards forward into Cole Palmer, who's now playing sort of as a second outside right, and the fullback wasn't sure whether to pick him up. The midfield players weren't quite sure whether to pick him up, so we had a bit more space. And the same on the other side. Enzo Fernandez started to get a lot more space, and he could now make runs forward, and they got better possession. So Maresca got it right in the second half, and they played so much better football, and the tactics were better.
I think Maresca was going to get it right with his tactical adjustments, as you outlined there, Robbo, because his options off the bench still are what they are, especially from midfield going forward. It's basically Jadon Sancho and nobody else. It's interesting, Maresca made the point that the goal was to qualify for the Champions League next season. So they're 1 year ahead there. They also brought this trophy in, wheeled out the stuff about winning mentality. it's certainly, I think, a big step forward for this group of young players.